Do you guys read in news every day on a regular basis? The main idea of asking that question is because most of the time we really don't care what goes on. I ask my students, I also teach at universities and colleges. And I always tell students, I'm a young guy as well, but not as young as you are, obviously. And I always encourage people that if we don't know what's going on, we don't get involved. Getting involved is not going to a rally or like screaming. It could be that, but it could also be participating by reading the news, knowing the facts, knowing who is your candidate, knowing who is your local representative, and demanding from those leaders that action be taken. If you pay attention here in Miami-Dade, we have a variety of candidates. Some of them, right, some of them reach out to the community, some of them don't. Because some of them know that regardless of what they do, they have the election in their pocket. Because nobody really cares. And voters like you, people like you who have the ability to vote, you guys don't get out and vote. So these politicians that are career politicians, they say, well, these people don't really care, so let's do what we want, and there's an agenda that these politicians have. It doesn't matter what party it is. But it's our responsibility to be participants of these processes and let the politicians know that they're going to be held accountable, not only by their parties, but by those people who are voters, independent voters. You guys are very young. How many of you are over 18? Okay, everybody, all right, good, excellent. How many of you are registered voters? Excellent. What happened, man? You haven't voted? You can't, oh, you can yet, all right, cool. All right, fine, and you? You're a resident, all right, we have to wait for you. Yes, it's okay. But how many of you who are registered to vote know who you're going to vote for? Do you have any idea? All right, I'm not going to ask you for whom, but that's good. Have you taken the time to read your candidate's profile?
Yeah.
And why is he or she good?
Because it helps and benefits me as an individual.
As an individual. And how does it benefit your community?
Money.
Money?
Yeah.
Why money?
Because it helps businesses. And in order to help businesses, it helps me.
Well, no, this is good, it's good.
Yeah, no.
It's good for him and he understands the message. What about you? You can't vote, all right. You don't know yet. And where do you live? Or do you know what district this is? He doesn't know the name of the district or the number of this district, yes? What is it, this district? This is 27? Or
this is, I don't know, I am 27.
I don't know, I don't think this is 27.
I think this is good value.
27?
This is good value.
Okay, 27.
25. The value is 25 if I remember well. Let me see. Because we have
Well, we have to find out.
No, good value is 26 actually.
26, all right. So we have to find out which is your district and who are the candidates. And this is something that we all have to do to find out who are the politicians who want to represent us, what they have to offer, and what he said is true. I want to know how am I going to be benefited, but also how is the community going to be benefited? Because it's a two-way street. But today we live in a world where we are polarized. So if you are a Republican, if you are a Democrat, people won't like you. Oh, you're a Democrat. Oh, you're a leftist. You're a liberal. You're part of a mob. Yes. Or if you are on the Republican side, oh my God, you support Trump. We hate you. Like, I have people that don't talk to me anymore. Not only because I ran for Congress in Colombia, and they didn't like the party I chose. And I told them, but it's not about the party, it's about me. I'm the candidate. I'm the one that has the ideas. But they said, no, I don't care about you. I only care about the party. And I actually went out in the street, I campaigned around the world, and I told people, hey, these are my ideas, this is my platform. Some people listened, but some other people didn't listen. And they ended up electing a guy who nobody knew and nobody listened to. But he had the right party at the time. So today, my mission here is to come and let you know that you guys can pick any party you want. You can be a Democrat, you can be a Republican, or you can be in the Senate. But you have to get out and vote. And you have to let politicians know that you are young people, but you have decision. And you are able to participate. Because then we can't demand anything. You see our city? You see those highways? We've been building these highways for 10 years, 15 years, and those roads are not done. Why? We got tolls that are extremely expensive. Nobody cares. I live in a community that nobody cares about, which is Kendall. It's a huge community. It provides a lot of money to the city, but who cares about Kendall? Why? Because we don't have a mayor. We don't have a local assembly. So we're not an incorporated area. So who cares about Kendall? And the politicians that we have, I was organizing a forum next Monday. I invited all politicians, Democrats, Republicans, Mr. Gillum, Mr. DeSantis, a bunch of people who are running. Some confirmed, some didn't, but most of them didn't confirm. Why? Because nobody cares about that community. Also because I am not a representative of an organization that is supporting any party. So, but he's not a Republican who is supporting these candidates. He's not a Democrat who is supporting these candidates, so we're not going to go. Because we don't know what they're going to ask. We don't know what to expect. And I'm thinking, that's not your job to decide. You have to go to the forums that people organize for you, because you owe that to the people who want to elect you. But they don't say that. And some of these parties, and I have to say, the Democrats, I got two candidates that took the time to answer and say, hey, I'm going to go. And for these candidates, like, kudos, like, great, cool. But the Republicans, none of them said an answer. None of them. I have a representative for Doral. She was invited. Ana Maria Rodriguez. She never said no. And I saw her personally. And I asked her, are you going to go? And like, oh, I'll let you know. But that answer is like, yeah, I'm not going to go. But I cannot tell you to your face no. And I hate that type of hypocrisy. So my mission today is that I encourage people to get out and vote, to participate. I believe, for example, in the center movement. Because I believe that if you are a Republican and if you are a Democrat, and maybe I am a Republican, or maybe, as I define myself, I am a right-center liberal, which means that for me, if your city needs a liberal solution to solve a problem, I'm going to apply the liberal solution. It might be a little bit socialist, yes, who cares, but that's the way to go for that specific problem. And I should not be cast as a communist or a leftist because I decided to help people with the best possible solution. But if in her neighborhood we need a right-wing solution, I should not be cast as a fascist. So the center way is the best way. Why? Because we are independent. We get the best of both worlds, and we're able to allow people to really participate in the political process, not to alienate people because they think differently. If you don't like Trump, it's okay. I don't like Trump sometimes, but sometimes I like him, and I can tell you straight to your face why there's things I like about him. There are things that I don't like about him, period. But it doesn't mean that I am some kind of monster. And the same thing with Mr. Obama. There were things that I liked about him. There were things that I didn't like about him. But this is not an idea that we elect someone and the person is perfect. Oh my God, Obama, Trump. No, there are people like us. They make mistakes. And when they make a mistake, we gotta call them out. It's our job to do so. That's why we go out there and vote. So the main message is that voting is the most important responsibility that we have as citizens. We always have to vote for people. And you know something, this happened to me when I was running for Congress. Nobody took time to read my platform. That was funny. So people would look at my picture, okay, nice. And no, but like, look at the ideas. It's okay. I will vote for you. And so people would look, oh my God, you're from this party. I will never vote for you. And I'm like, what? Yeah, but like, take time to read the platform. So people were voting not even because they wanted to, or they had a personal conviction. They were voting because somebody else told them to. So there's no real, and people always say, politicians are terrible. They're not terrible. They're terrible as long as you let them be terrible. You understand me? And when we elect, when we have the power to elect, and this country is wonderful, is because this country has the power to let politicians know they cannot play games. And they play games as long as we allow them to. And you can be sure, and this is not a political presentation, but I will be running here. And I want people like me to do so. I want to encourage people like you to do so. Because I don't have like the people with big money behind me. I don't. But I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if we get people who think that the center movement is the way to go, that we can actually live together, that we can work together to achieve common goals, that's how we're going to solve our problems. And things happen. When you ask a politician, why do we have so many tolls on the 836? We got like 12 tolls, one after the other. When you cross that highway, you're paying like $18 or something like this, going up and coming down. And people, yeah, it's expensive, but like, okay. But if we all protested, it will say, enough is enough. How much does a guy at McDonald's make? I know people that have 3 jobs, and they have to go from one job to the other because they can't make ends meet. So on top of that, you're going to charge them all that money you charge them for tolls? Oh, and then the justification is, oh, we need public transportation. What public transportation? Like shitty public transportation? I'm sorry, I gotta say, like, what type of transportation? We don't have any public transportation. So at the end of the day, it's up to us to go out there and vote. And not allow anyone to tell you what's the best way to vote. And some people have made young people, oh, ha, 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 let's go because it's cool. No, it ain't cool, bro. Cool is when you know who you're voting for. Cool is when you know the proposals. And cool, like him, he took the time to read what the politician stands for, and it's good for him, but he knows what that politician represents. But I see some young guys, they go to rallies, and just because it's cool, they give him some like food, and then there's like a big party, or I don't know, whatever side you're on. If it's on the right or the left, there's like a mob, and you feel part of something. Okay, cool. But before you join that gang or that group of people, make sure you identify with them, and you know what's the message. Yes. When people say, I hear people on the left, but Cuba's not so bad. Excuse me. Venezuela's not so bad. They elected the guy in democratic elections. I know someone, a personal friend, with whom I have ideological debates all the time. He believes that Castro and Chavez, my God, they're perfect. But the guy lives here. And he lives in Brickell. And I told him, oh really, you like these people? So go down there and live there. Oh, yeah, I would go. And I said, really? For how long? I want to see you. I want to see you stand in line, starving to death. So the point is not, this is where we have fallen into extremes. When a Democrat believes that Chavez and Castro are good people, and that the people who support them have a right to support them, and then that person's not a Democrat. For me, he's a fool. And why? Because you cannot justify someone who abolishes democracy, a person who abolishes freedom of opinion, freedom of speech, consider them to be democratic. That's not the way to go. For me, a Democrat is a person who believes in social programs, who believes in inclusion, who believes that everybody should get a fair chance. That's being a Democrat. And those who are Republicans believe in the same thing, with the only difference is that they believe in free markets. And to push for an agenda that makes small businesses and the economy grow faster. Democrats have a different view. But that's what we used to have a few years ago. Now we don't. Now we have an extreme version of everything, yes? And that's not the way to go. So at the end of the day, what do? I always watch CNN, I watch Fox, I watch everything. Because I need to have a clear idea. If you have a clear idea only from one side, you're never going to get it. For example, this journalist, Don Lemon, for me, he's a sham. He's not a journalist. He's not objective. Every night, he's bashing Trump. Every night. And when the guy does something good, he doesn't give him credit. I texted him on Twitter, hey, bro, are you really a journalist? Or what are you? And then you flip to Fox, and then it's like, oh my God. Trump is like the angel, like the God, who came to save us. Hannity, yeah, exactly. And that's not what we should be talking about. That's not what we should be doing. So it should be great that we can have a journalist that will show us like both sides. And my advice to all of you, don't let anybody tell you who to vote for. I am not here to tell you that. I am here to tell you to create a conscience, a political conscience. To vote people who are young, and by being young, I don't mean that the person has to be 20, or that the person has to be 40, or 50, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Young in ideas. You can be 60, and you can be young in ideas. There's a big difference. When you believe in progress, your ideas are fresh, and you don't need to be 25 or 15 to be young in politics. So, get involved, create a political conscience, don't let people fool you or tell you where you have to go and vote. And get out there and do it. But don't get out there, for example, I want to ask this question. How many of you would like that education be free for everybody? I would like it to be free, you know. My children, if I have children, I want them to have free education, but can we provide free education for everybody? Realistically, can we? No. No, we cannot. The only way we can do that is by going to that 1% and telling the 1%, okay, now you're going to pay like 90% taxes. So those people are going to say, so what's the point of making money if I'm going to have to give it all away?
They can just leave the country.
Hmm?
They can just leave the country. It's happened in the past.
They'll leave the country, but then we will not
be able to tax.
Exactly, and we will not be able to, no, we can tax them anyway, but not as much as we wanted to. And then it becomes a more difficult problem because we don't have people investing money in the economy, so we have to find a middle ground solution.
Right.
Not to tax these people extensively, but also not to make it like, you know, free, because it's a lie. So when a politician tells you, oh, I'm going to give it to you for free, he's BSing you. Period. Because there's no way you can do that. Unless you drive the system bankrupt.
Just remember, guys, when I mentioned to you who is going to pay, this is the question. When people offer you, who's going to pay? Because this is not for free. There is no free lunch. Somebody has to pay, right? Really?
So those are the things that you have to ask. So when a politician tells you, oh, I'm going to give it to you for free. But how are you going to do it? Are you going to bankrupt the country doing it?
Yes.
Or how are you going to do it? Or are you going to drive away the people that have the money and invest? Or how are you going to do it really? And when you ask these politicians these questions, they don't know what to answer. And they will give you a populist answer. They will tell you, oh, we're going to go after the rich. But bro, that's not the answer either. Yes? And when you ask someone who's in the Republican Senate, they'll tell you, I'm going to cut taxes, and I'm not going to give social services to everybody. Really? How come? There's people that need social services. So what are you going to do with those people? The people who need Medicare, the people that need food stamps. There's people that need them. So you're going to let them like die, or what are you going to do? And those are the questions that a very informed voter will ask a politician. No, yeah, no more taxes. And then you think about it, oops, that's going to affect me too. Like maybe my mother, my father take food stamps, they take Medicare, and they're going to cut them for them. Who's going to pay for their health insurance? So those are the things that we always need to consider when we actually think about politics. Politics is really fun, but people think it's boring, but it's not. It's really fun. I've been doing this for a while, and I enjoy it very much. But why? Because it's about debating and talking about ideas and convincing people what we should be doing. The more centrist we become, the less polarized we become. The more I'm able to engage with her, with you, with him, about things that we disagree. But in disagreement, we usually find things that work out. But if we always have to think alike, then it's like, my guy's so boring. Who here has who's married, who has a boyfriend, girlfriend? You. Do you always agree with your boyfriend? It would be too boring, wouldn't it? Yes. But it would also be terrible if you disagree with him all the time. Like you would be fighting all the time. So we need to find a middle ground. Like, hey, you know, I don't like going. For example, I don't like to watch. I remember that a long time ago I watched this movie Frozen. I'm serious. I went to the movies and I saw this movie, and I didn't go because I wanted to. I made a deal, and I told the person at the time, okay, I'm gonna go. But after we watch that movie, we're gonna watch the action film I want to see. Okay, fine. So I went to see the movie. I thought it was terrible. There was a woman behind me like cracking and talking and really annoying and laughing like ha 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 the whole movie, and I was like, my God. But I enjoyed the film. Towards the end of the movie, I said, you know something? It was a really nice experience. I liked the film. It was fun. I hate the snowman, but it's a different story. Yes. And then she went to see an action film. But through disagreement, I went to this movie, we agreed, and I ended up enjoying the movie, and I have this movie in my mind. It's like Frozen. Yes? So that's what I think we should all be thinking about. Like being in the center, analyzing people for what they want to do with our communities, and we have to begin to push people who do not have these machines behind them. I'll give you an example. If I want to run for a city commission, how much money do you think I need? Give me a number. Huh? Not so much, but I need 500K to have a competitive race and for people to take me seriously. Who has 500K in the bank? Everybody? I certainly don't. So what do I have to do? I have two options. I have to sell my soul to a group of business people who will give me the money and special interest, or I can have my constituents say, you know something, I'm going to give $10 to this guy's super PAC. And by adding $10 or $15, $20, by the guy will raise the money. And then the guy will owe his soul to the people who he really needs to owe it. The people. I disagree completely with Bernie Sanders and his vision. But there is something that he did that I found to be interesting. He actually got people to give him the money to run. So people would give him like $27. He raised a lot of money. He was the right candidate for the Democratic Party at the time. But they didn't select him. They selected the wrong one, which is okay. But at the end of the day, it's the people that make the decisions. And as long as we are able to say, you know something, I want to back up my candidate. I have a guy in my district, he's running for Congress, I'm going to give him money. I'm going to say, what do you need, man? What do you need? And this is what we need to do. Because if you don't do it, then those people that have the special interest, they're the ones winning all the time. Not us, but those people. They have the money, they have the resources, and you'll be amazed how much an independent candidate has to deal with when he's trying to get himself elected. And the money is very important, but it depends also on people. Somebody asked me, can someone run without money? Yes, he can. Yes, she can. But if the people don't support them, there's nothing we can do. And I also have met people who say, we have to wait and see if she or he has a chance. You have to wait. For what? If the guy is what you need to support him from the beginning. So he actually has a chance. And just to finish, if you haven't registered, you still have time to do so. Get out and vote. Vote. But before you vote, vote for the proposals, for the ideas that benefit you and your community. Don't vote because somebody told you, you know, that candidate is cool. No, he ain't cool until you know what he stands for. And once you know what he stands for, and you say, this guy is mine, or this girl is mine, that's the guy you gotta vote for. But I hope that from now on, and this is serious, it's the first time I meet you, I have known her for a long time, we're very good friends, but I believe in that center movement. And the center movement is what is going to be ruling in the next few years, because you and I, we're part of a younger generation. We believe in pragmatism and making things happen. I don't believe that I have to sit here and wait for some fool to say yes to something that will benefit the community. Bro, this is what we need to do. Let's do it. Oh no, we have to wait. We don't have to wait. We have to do it. But I think like this. And I'm sure you guys think the same, because we're young, we have a different mentality. But these guys who come from a different generation, they have a different mentality, a different mindset. I do for you, but what you gonna give me? And it's all like give and take, quid pro quo. I give you, you give me. We gotta stop that. And that's what you guys have to think about. And I also encourage all of you to get in, public service, to be part of the community, things that you want to do. I'm going to be doing some activities also. I'm going to be doing a foot drive in November for homeless people. If anybody wants to join me, it'll be great. We need volunteers for that. And we're going to be organizing also a toy drive to help poor children in the school in Homestead. So the idea is that if you guys want to chill, you want to come and do something meaningful, like I'm not running for anything, so it's not like I'm campaigning. So the idea is that we actually do something, because a politician has to run. And one thing is your campaign and your platform. But you have to be involved. You have to work for your community. You have to let the community know that you're there. And the people who surround you also become your leaders. And my vision is that we can actually, at some point, run with young people. So if I decide to run for whatever office I'm going to run, I want to have people who will run also with me. And it's a matter of believing. Those who believe will do it. Those who don't will go their way. But I am sure we have the right message to get things done and to get people to participate, to vote, and to be inclusive in this process. Yes? Thank you. Who has any questions? Yes.
What is your point of view on immigration?
It's a difficult topic. I'll give you what I think we should do. We have a lot of people here who have been here for a long time. Yes? Came here 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Most of these people live in darkness. I am an advocate of legal immigration. I don't believe that people should get a free pass just because they came to the border illegally. Now, that being said, I also do not believe that Latino immigrants are peasants. We are not bad people. We are hardworking people. And the idea that we're going to be cast or characterized as like the problem or the reason why some other people don't have a job, that's BS. Some other people don't have a job is because we are not lazy. And we come here and we go, we pick the oranges, we do all the jobs that people don't want to do. So that for me, it's BS. But at the end of the day, we have to legalize through a immigration reform those 11 million who are here. We have to give them a way to get legalized. They have to pay a fine, which is something that has been proposed before, and we have to cut the crap, basically, of like casting immigrants as bad people. But we also have to teach immigrants that when you come to this country, you have to adapt. You have to learn English, and you have to become part of this system. Because what made the other immigration waves different is that those people came and they adapted eventually. We take a long time to adapt. And in most of our homes, we speak Spanish, which is okay. We have a right to do so. But we need to encourage our family members, yo, you need to learn English. Why? Because I've seen it. When you go and you see, for example, the other day I was at a Publix supermarket. The cashier was Latino. She spoke English, but, you know, not perfect English. And there was a white Caucasian woman who spoke to the lady, and the lady did not understand. The woman got very angry. She began lashing out at the woman and saying, hey, relax, chill, what do you want? I explained to the woman in very slow motion English, which is not like bad English. She understood. I said, problem solved. You know, we just need to understand each other. So my position in that view is that we have to organize the system. We have to make it simpler. We cannot send the message that it is correct to cross the border here and fill this country with illegal immigration, because I don't believe in that. Because like many of you, like I made a lot of sacrifices to be here and to be here. So at the end of the day, why should someone who lies or someone who comes in here illegally, oh, come on, we'll give you a green card tomorrow, but you got people waiting also. So it's a matter of being fair. And as I said to you before, be in the center. People want to come here, good, fine. But how are you going to come here? And how are we going to find a common ground so that we can make the system easier, that we can allow people to come, but not encouraging people to come here illegally, because every time we encourage someone to cross the border illegally, we are encouraging illegal immigration, we are encouraging people to break the law. So immigration is not bad. The message should not be that immigration is bad for the country, because it's not. And Latinos are not the reason this country is doing bad. Not at all. We're part of it, and we have given a lot to this country. But we also have to look that this country is a country of laws, and the law must be followed and respected. And that's what we should be doing when it comes to immigration. Not over here, not over there, but over here. We help these people, and we make people follow the law, which is basically my position. Anybody else?
Do you think that the polarization that we have right now will be over at some point?
If we don't do something about it, no. And the only way we can actually do it is by electing people who do not belong to these special interests. I always have believed, how many of you understand what a coup d'etat means?
Coup d'etat.
To overthrow a government. So when you say to someone, oh, a coup d'etat, It's like you go by force. You don't need to do that by weapons or killing people. You do that by voting. And when you elect people who are not part of the same people, and you begin to change the political landscape by people who are your same generation, people who are older, who think like you, who think on more pragmatism ways to solve issues, that's when we begin to change the landscape. And we may think differently on some topics, but because we disagree, I'm not going to kill you, I'm not going to not speak to you, and I think that's the way to end up polarization. But we actually begin to listen. If we listen, we understand each other. But if I shut you up, you like this guy Gillen, you are a socialist, communist, blah, blah, blah. No, she likes him. I want to hear why she likes him, and then we'll get into the debate. Yes.
Why there's not enough support for these different parties that are not that polarized?
There's not enough support because here, if today I say I'm running for Congress, and when they look at my account in the City Commission of Elections, and they see I have $10, he has $10. This is the reaction. But if they see I have $1 million, oh, he has $1 million, so this guy is dangerous, we gotta worry about him. Because money gives you power, but at the end of the day, once again, it depends on people. That people need to liberate themselves from this mindset that there's only one party or the other.
So they give money if you have money, no ideas?
Basically, yes, in some cases.
It's
But
about
because
money.
when they give you money,
It's about money, no? Or
well, the ideas worry depending on what type of candidate you are. Yes. But for example, I know candidates that have been chosen like this. You will run. But this finger means that yeah, you're gonna be the candidate. You're gonna be the face. But this won't matter. You will answer what they tell you to answer. You will do what they tell you to do because they are pushing you there. When you are a candidate that runs independently and you have your own platform and your ideas, that's when it matters. Because it's you running the show, not 10 people behind you telling you what to do. So that is the main issue. And as long as we are able to move from that and to have a more centrist idea, you're going to see in the future more independent candidates running because that's exactly what we need, but we need to support them. Yes?
How
Anybody
can
else?
listen, how can we save the parties because it's truth? It's asking about third party options because the truth is the electoral laws in the United States support the two-party system strongly. Even by the way in which people are elected, those person per position, that means you don't have a chance for a proportional representation. We have that problem.
Correct.
However, we can make the parties more democratic, like we did historically. That happened also. Like when the party bosses, they were the owners of the party. Now it's under special interests. We have to. I would say we need to democratize the parties again, the political parties, because they are becoming now, as you say, they are kidnapped by special interests. No,
I agree. She's completely right. And the way to democratize like parties is by putting common sense into them and not choosing people by fingers and not by like pushing ideas over money, And but that's only a job that we can all do. Like we begin to demand this and to ask for new people. But this is the funny thing. They will tell you, oh, this candidate represents the renovation, the new blood of the party. And you begin to look at his family tree. He's related to a former Congress. He's related to somebody in the family or for former president, or he's related to a special interest company, blah, blah, blah. But it's rare to see someone, and you look at their CV, this guy is genuine. Like this guy doesn't have special interest people behind him. He doesn't have like these people who are ruling the city all the time. That's what you have to look for. Because for me, it's not enough. You can have somebody who's young. We're all young, but it doesn't. I don't care if you're young. If you're the daughter of someone who has been in power for all your life, he's only like transmitting or like transferring the power to you. So it's not power to the people. Yes. You have a nice question.
When you vote for someone, do you choose them because of their values or because of the materialistic aspect that they're going to provide for the community?
I usually choose people, and it's actually a very good question. because it depends on the historical moment that we might be in. Sometimes we have flawed candidates. And when you have to choose between two flawed candidates, it's not about our values, it's about what they can actually get done. And when you sit with a candidate like this, you say, what you gonna do? What are your compromises? I'm gonna do A, B, C, and D. These are the things I think I can do. And if those things align with what you want, he's your guy. If they don't, then you gotta look for the other person who's running. And today we see more and more of that. Flawed candidates because our system is not working properly because we have given the system to special interests. So if we allow people, us, to really get involved, we know what's going on, then we're able to move forward. You saw it last week and 2 weeks ago. We had a huge debate over Mr. Camino's confirmation. How many of you read the story, understood the story? How many know what the Camino story is about? Raise your hand. All right, tell me, what is it about?
It's about this lady that's like that. He had sexually assaulted her, and they asked her a question, and she wasn't remembering a lot of it, so they were saying that it was a lie, and that they were just trying to delay the whole situation.
Who do we know? Who do we believe? The guy or the girl? We can't. We don't know. Yes. But as a lawyer, I will tell you something. In this country, by law, a woman's testimony of rape is enough to take someone to trial. But it's not enough to convict the person. Yes? This was a job interview. And once more, the testimony of the woman was enough to put this guy through all the things that he went through. The question is not whether we believe or not the woman. And the question is not whether we actually believe that the guy was there or not. I personally believe that if I am sexually abused, I will remember who did it to me, but I also will remember where the hell I was, what happened when I left the place, and who I spoke to. And if those things cannot be proven, it's not that the event didn't happen, you can't prove it, period. So the country got very polarized. Oh, yeah, women are the ones being abused. And yes, women are being abused a lot. And men, very little. But this is not the issue. The issue is that this process was polarized, and that's where we are, in this polarization. And the only reason why we had all these hearings was because that seat was very important. You did not see that before with the other guy that Trump chose. They could have, searched somebody. And when you begin to hear, for example, how old are you? 18. So tomorrow somebody's going to come and say, because they don't like you, I saw her promoting gang rape, and she gave drugs to every student, and they all got gang rape and gang banging, and I look at her face and I'm like, seriously? Like, she's capable of doing that? Okay, all right, so I'm going to believe the accusation, but where's the evidence that she actually has done that? And then it becomes a problem of what side you take and what you believe. I personally believe that women should be respected, that we should believe women, but men also have a right to a due process and to be heard and not to be casted as a rapist just because someone came out and said it. That's my personal belief. But in the politics that we live in today, this is not enough. So when I said this, people accuse me of being an anti-woman person. No, I'm just saying the truth. Where is the evidence? There is none. And her testimony was enough to sit the guy and to interview the guy, to put the guy through the process. It's by law. But then her testimony needs corroborating evidence. She wasn't able to provide it.
I want to add something.
Yes.
Basically, because we discussed this in class. I would say that there are people in general, in both parties, taking advantage of the polarization.
Correct.
And this is our breathing space is smaller and smaller. We need a breathing space. Because the truth is, I would say that I told them, for me it was very shameful to see the Supreme Court and someone, a nominee of the Supreme Court in this shameful process. It was painful. Because this is the most important institution, the rule of law in a nation. jinete compuesto. And we discussed that in class. But as I said, there are people actually working at all levels of power in order and are actually promoting polarization for winning purposes. Their winning purposes, not our winning purposes. You know what I mean? So in that sense, this is a problem we have. Because actually politicians are playing polarization, the polarization thing.
I agree. And if you guys read the case clearly, Ms. Ford did not want to come forward publicly. She wanted to keep things private. And somebody filtered the information. And so a person who was interested in only political gain made the story public. And then the poor woman now, she's been destroying social media, but the guy too. So the two victims in the end of the polarization have been the woman and this guy. And forever he will have a cloud on his head that he's a gang rapist. And the woman will always have a cloud on her head that she got raped and nobody believed her, or that she lied about it. And this is when polarization begins to take over the discussion. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you think Brett Kavanaugh, after everything he has been through, that he's going to be a good candidate to be a Supreme Court judge?
Well, I think he's going to be a good justice. I think the idea that he's going to come back with a vengeance and take away abortion rights and stuff, there's something that is very fundamental. When you give rights to a community, you just cannot take them out away. There has to be a justification by law that you're going to say, well, this is what is true now, but things have changed, so I think we should change, the law because maybe abortion is affecting the community, or maybe, for example, we have the same-sex marriage. Something will happen in the future and will require us to revise it, but a judge cannot go to court and say, well, I don't like abortion, so let's change it. It doesn't work that way. But as she said, there's people on both sides that will give you, oh, he's going to go there and take women's rights. It's not true. And he is going to go there and abolish everything and make possible. You cannot do. There's only one guy. Yes? But I am sure that in some cases where he actually believes that the rule of law is not being followed, he will apply a conservative view. Period. Just as another judge would apply a liberal view. And one thing before I finish, I have to say something. What do you guys think is the definition of being a liberal? Anybody?
There's two ways, I guess.
So tell me your view.
There's two views that I see. There's the view that's very way over to the left, that has these imaginations that whatever a Republican thinks, they consider them evil, or they have these ideas, imagination. And then there's an actual liberal that understands what problems really are. And that's what people don't understand. That's what the news, for example, Fox, says liberals, they always target those mobs and just to make fun of them. And then there's actually some liberals that are actually conservatives, actually know what the problem is. That's what we don't see.
That's a good answer. Anybody else? So being a liberal, we are all liberals here, all of us. Because being a liberal is being human, is understanding that we all have problems, that we all have to find solutions to them. And it's having an open mind to solving critical problems in our communities. Being a liberal is not someone who is socialist, supporting Chavez or Castro or these or Putin, whatever. Being liberal is part of the human condition, but they have turned it into a demonizing word again with the deal of the polarization. I am a right-center liberal because I consider myself to be open-minded. I believe in the rule of law, I believe in economic progress, and I believe in entrepreneurship, free markets. But when I say this, people say, oh my God, but you're right, you're on the right, but you cannot be on the right and be liberal. Of course I can. But we have demonized the word. And liberals are not bad people. Conservatives are not bad people. They're just different. We cannot demonize people for what they are. So when you hear someone tell you, oh, you're a liberal, you're going to say, yeah, I'm a liberal because I'm human. I think, I have freedom of speech, so are you, and we are all liberals. Now, if you are on the left, on the right, it's a different story. Yes? Any other questions? No? All right, great.
But you have an evolution.
Huh?
You didn't.
I did, yes.
Because you were more conservative than I did.
I know I was.
And you have become a centrist, right?
But you know why?
Did you say
Because, yes, I have.
Why? Because you don't like polarization?
I don't like
It's
it.
happening even in your country, Colombia, and also here in the States, and that's why you moved to the center more? Because you were more conservative.
I was. But I moved to the center, and I'll explain why I was conservative at some point.
Okay.
A few years ago, I was kidnapped, and that crime, no one paid for that crime. And the emotional and personal cost to me over the years was great, incredible. It was terrible. And so in the end, those first few years, I leaned to the right because there was so much resentment, so much hatred to the people who actually did that to me. But as I finally began to overcome my personal dilemma over that incident, I was always a liberal, always. But I was never a liberal on the left or the extreme left. I was always a liberal on the center right. And I leaned to where I always was, in the center. I'm always leaning more to the right. I'm never leaning more to the left. I don't believe in certain things. But those events made me very, very conservative at some point. But today I believe that is not the way to go. Being very conservative or being very leftist is not a way to go. It only leads to a lot of polarization. There's one example. The right of protest, we all have. The right to go on the street, we all have. But you don't have a right to go to a restaurant, to go to somebody's private encounters and harass him like some Democratic mobs have been doing. And that's not the Democratic Party that I have seen over the years. It has turned into some leftist crazy mob, which is the truth. But we have to stop that, and we have to tell people, hey, yo, that's not right. And there was an interview on CNN the other day of a Democratic senator. The anchor asked her, do you think it's okay for this to happen? She didn't say anything. So I asked her on Twitter, I'm assuming that if we all do that to you with your family if you're having dinner, and we push you out, screaming at your face, are you going to like it? She didn't answer. Of course not. Who's going to like it? You're going to attack me. If I'm a politician, I'm a public person. I have to be open to those debates. I don't care. And I'll talk to you. But not, my wife, my children, my family, if they're there, you're going to respect them because that's not their issue. And this is something that we have to stop. We have to stop making the fight a personal one. We have to make the fight about the ideas, proposal, and how we can get them done. And that's something that you guys need to consider also.
Okay, great. Muchachos, any other question? Bueno, gracias de verdad, Cristian.
No, thank you.